Hey, how's it going, super friends? Welcome back to my channel. How cool of you to take the time to come and chill out with me and watch today's video. We're reviewing the brand new Batmanmissionsmrfreeze action figure. Again, it really seems like Mattel is knocking it out of the park with these Batman Missions figures. The back of the packaging, Sub-Zero Hour, Mr. Freeze, and you have that whole Arctic Batman that I don't really care about that much, but the front of the packaging is the same as all the rest. Bat symbol, Batman Missions, Mr. Freeze. We all know what this stuff looks like. Let's just pop them out. Rippity rip. Rippity rip rip. All right, cool. Now let's pop them out of this now too. Helmet, backpack, freeze gun, and Mr. Freeze. Huh, cool. All right, so let's go over the accessories one more time. We have the freeze cannon, made in China, just like everything from the DC universe. It's got some cans of beans stuck to the bottom. It's got some wiry things and a trigger and a handle. Looks very much like what you would think a Mr. Freeze cannon would look like. Here's the freeze cannon from the Greg Capullo signature collection, Mr. Freeze. I gotta tell you, I actually prefer the Mattel one better. This just looks like your classic Mr. Freeze cannon, whereas this one here, the handle's underneath there, and I get what they're trying to do with it. I just really prefer this one over this one. You got his temperature control backpack. This is what enables him to stay cool in that suit. It's hollow on the inside and has two googly eyes. Nope, I'm kidding. They just go in the little holes like that. Ta-da! Backpack attached. I'll probably never take it off. I could super glue it in there and be happy with it. And then of course we've got his little domey helmet. No Mr. Freeze is complete unless he's got the dome helmet. Why? Because the suit is climate controlled and Freeze needs to stay cold. This puts a nice little cold air bubble all the way around his bald beanie head. Let's pop it off for a second. Sorry, I know I'm just going against everything I said, Mr. Freeze, but I gotta show him your face. Simple, basic, classic. I really like this a lot. It just looks like your very simple classic Mr. Freeze. No complaints whatsoever. I really, really love it. I'm pretty sure this is all 100% new sculpting detail. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that all of this is unique to him, and it looks absolutely fantastic. This is my new favorite Batman Missions figure. Seriously, I absolutely think that Mattel is killing it with this line, and it's going to be absolutely sad to see this line end when Mattel finally does not have the license anymore in 2020. I mean, we have Mr. Freeze, Two-Face, probably one of the best looking Bane figures I've ever seen in my life, Joker, Harley, there's also a Batman, a Robin, Nightwing, and Batgirl. Batgirl. And Batgirl. Also a slew of different Batman variants, a few of which I've got. A Riddler figure, which I don't have. Well, I do, but it's in the States with a friend. And a completely alternate Bane with a light up green Venom chest. Urgh. And let's not forget this way cool looking Batcycle. And also a very cool looking Batmobile. I really like this. Now I know that these really aren't for everyone. Some people prefer figures with a more advanced form of articulation, maybe some more advanced paint apps, but I think that this figure is sculpted fantastically. Minimal paint apps, but he doesn't need a lot of paint apps. He looks fantastic the way he is. Again, some people like a more advanced form of articulation, but with the ball hinge rotation, you have rotating single hinged elbows, rotating hinged wrists, tornado waist, single basic back and forth legs, and then basic knee articulation. Some people would really pass on this because of the articulation, or because they'd say, well, these are for kids, don't buy them. Well, I gotta tell you, where I live, in my town, the Batman Missions figures are still just sitting there on the shelf. We even had a Bane and a Nightwing just sitting there for a while. Why is that? Because a lot of kids just don't know who these guys are. But we do. We know who Mr. Freeze is, who Bane is, who Two-Face is, who the Joker is. Actually, no, you know what? I think that pretty much everyone knows who the Joker is. He's iconic. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're into these figures, don't hesitate to buy them. I mean, don't be that guy that goes in and buys up every single one of them and then leaves nothing on the pegs for anyone else. That's just being a jerk. Save some for somebody else. But don't feel bad about buying these if you're an adult collector as well. you're not, just because you buy these doesn't mean kids can't have them if you just buy like 1 or 2 of them, because kids aren't, as far as I've seen, at least where I come from, they're not super excited about these. These designs were made with the adult collector in mind. I am absolutely sure of it, because these are the classic looks, or the comic book looks, or something that I know that we all have been stoked about. How many people do you know that are adult collectors who looked at that Robin and said, man, I love the look of it, I just wish it had more articulation? They're gonna say the same thing about Mr. Freeze and Bane. I say, frig it, just go buy them yourself and get them home, get them out of the package. You'll feel like a kid again. At least I do, especially when I'm playing with my kid with these. But when I'm not, and he's got his and I got mine, I look at these and I feel like I'm 9 years old all over again. So my final verdict for this figure, judging it by, hey, these are made for kids primarily, but also with adults in mind, a full 10 out of 10. I can't judge these by the same standard that I would judge an adult collector figure by. I have to judge these by clearly what it's trying to be. Something that satisfies a little bit of everyone. The figure looks great, authentic. The detail, the color scheme, how well he fits in with the rest of the Batman Missions figures. Honestly, you can't go wrong with this Mr. Freeze. If you see him hanging on the pegs and you hesitate and don't pick him up, I promise you, someone else will. But please, as I've said before, don't be that guy, and if you see 4 of them on the pegs, buy them all up and then flaunt it on Instagram. Look, I got 4! Anyway, that about sums up the totality of my time for this fantastic Mr. Freeze figure. So, if you've enjoyed it, please take the time to leave a like on it, because you know that kind of thing always lets me know that I'm doing something right. If you didn't like it, I guess, thumb it down. That happens from time to time too, actually almost on every video. And as usual, any comments you have, pop them down in the comments section below. And if you're not yet subscribed to this channel and you think you might like to see more of the kind of thing that I do on YouTube here, it's all DC Comics based, then I invite you today to become a super friend and join the DC squad. You can do that by hitting the subscribe button and dinging the notification bell so that when a new video gets uploaded, you'll get notified, and if it looks like something you're interested in, you can float on over and come and say hello. And on that note, I'm out of here. Have a DC day, super friends. Take care.